says he Homestead. How the heck are you today? Cal, get yourself some coffee. Put me out there in the kitchen. You know, I always got coffee on. That's what keeps me awake. Today's going to be kind of a scattered around barn chat, really. I've been following this one podcast. Like I really kind of enjoy it. It's they call it Timcast IRL. And he then splits them up and puts them out there on YouTube. I like the kid primarily because he's an ex-progressive, you know, reformed progressive, you might say. Saw the light. Okay, to some degree. He still does have some pretty liberal leanings, but other than that, he's a pretty good kid. You'd like to, you know, wish I knew him personally because I'd have to tell him, hey, son, you're barking up the wrong tree on something. Because he's under the impression that everybody is like the city folk, taking knees and more worried about losing their job than confronting these people. They're doing really stupid things out there. You'd like to kind of reach out to him and say, hey, son, there's a different world out there, you know. And I, especially because here of late, I did up one video that I haven't released. I had lost a customer, really, due to the fact that him and his family, and his son and his son's family, was getting ready to move back here to Middle Tennessee. His family owned a farm. His parents did. They retired to it. I believe they're out of Portland, Oregon area. And his whole thing was, it's gotten a little crazy. The last month or so, he came back here, took a look at the farm, and then contacted me. A neighbor that I knew had mentioned me to him. And I was going to go out there and take a look at what all he would need to do to get this place ready to homestead. And when I got out there, you know, they mailed me the key to it, to the front gate there. And the chain was gone, and the lock was gone, the gate was open. I went on in, and the secondary gate, right before you get into the house and barn areas, it was standing open, had police tape across it. And, you know. So, went ahead and parked in the other side of the police tape, grabbed my pistol, and because don't know what kind of critters might be running around out there, and headed out to take a look at the place. I start looking around, and it's like, there ain't nothing here, man. There was a remnants of an old burnt down house, and looked like it was maybe a bunk house or a guest house that was all burned down. Chicken coop, machine shop, burnt, you know, barn burnt. About maybe 25% of it was still standing. And so I thought, well, I guess he's figuring on rebuilding all this. So I took a few pictures of it and just wanted to walk and look at some of the land. And I heard somebody coming up the driveway, and it turned out it was a deputy sheriff. And he's kind of wondering what I was doing out there. I explained it to him, you know. And he was telling me that they had some bad thunderstorms come through, and lightning did all this. And I'm looking around, these buildings are spread out, you know? Like lightning did this? The lightning strikes had to come in like a mortar attack, man. Yeah? So I was kind of feeling like I was getting sunshine blowing up my tush. I said, lightning, huh? Yep. And I just kind of let him do the rattling while I was looking around. I think a bunch of the locals burned the place down. Didn't want them out there. And he was kind of insinuating that, you know, people don't want these folks moving in from the cities out here. And too much of it's been going on. And it's creating problems. It's like, alrighty. Didn't want to throw my 2 cents in with him, you know, because it's like, yeah. So after he leaves, I called the guy, and I'm telling him, yeah, there's nothing out here, man. All the buildings are burned. And I sent him those pictures. He was just flabbergasted, because he'd just been out there like a month before. And he said, well, what happened? I said, from what I was told, it was thunderstorm and lightning. He said, take out all the buildings? That's what they said, you know. And I didn't want to tell him the other half of the problem. I'll let him deal with them. They're sending, the county sent him a notice saying he had 30 days or 60 days to get somebody out there and clean that mess up. All that junk off. Or they were going to have the county come out and take care of it, put a lien on the property and foreclose. Yeah. Guy was already telling me, he said, I'm not going to read all that. He said, there's no way. So I didn't want to get too deep in the middle of all that. And I thought it'd be pretty rude of me to say, hey, you know, it's just bare land now. What would you sell it for? I'm going to give it a lot. I'll wait till he gets all these letters and stuff and then give him a holler and say, would you be interested in selling it? Because it's decent land. So, yeah, I had the real feeling that some of the good old boys torched the place. I don't know that guy from Adam, okay? You know. But that's what seemed to have been going on. Could have been like a weird freak lightning storm. There have been weirder things happen, I guess. But I've also been following some of the other things of what some of the area militias are doing and things, and they're pretty much gearing up for it to hit the fan. I mean, they've always like had community outreaches and you know, helping people with prepping and helping them with you know, tactical training, things of this nature, you know. But now they're really getting into more defensive. How do you prepare your perimeters around your little town here to keep anybody from getting here? Things of this nature. What bridges do we need to blow up to keep traffic out of here? And I haven't spoke to anybody really in the know other than one fella who said it's moving into more tactical planning at this stage, advanced planning, because of what's going on in the country. So that even got me more perked up to take a little harder look at what's going on. And I'll be honest with you, the state of California has put together a proposal to strike some statements out of their affirmative action law, which virtually takes away the affirmative action. Matter of fact, it strikes off the state showing any preference to anybody and does give the state the right to discriminate. Huh? Yeah? What are we doing here? Taking steps backwards? We can get back to Tim Pool. He's talking to people about it, telling them basically the same thing. And these left-leaning people, I guess he's still got a lot of ties to those kind of folks, are saying, oh no, that's for affirmative action. These guys, no, that's just, they're striking the affirmative action out of affirmative action, you know, and it'll be wide open, giving the state the authority to discriminate even if they wanted to. And he was talking about the amazement of it. But he's at the mindset of, well, everybody's going to do like the city folks are doing, and that's take a knee to the whole mess and, kind of go with the flow. I'm looking around at this as like, these old boys out here are getting ready for a fight. So I'm going to be doing a little more research into what exactly is going on. And I guess there's some real coordination going on between states now. Yeah. So if you were thinking about getting the heck out of those big cities, it'd be the time to do it. I have to be honest with you. Because if something goes nuts and this thing pops off, I'm not going to be able to get out of the cities. Okay. It's crazy. There's a lot of crazy talk going on. Matter of fact, talk about comments. Be interested in if y'all are hearing stuff. Any groups in your area that are seeming to be more active than what they normally are. Kind of weird. I got a couple phone calls in. Hopefully, I'll find out what's going on here in Tennessee. But But one of the things that is Tim Pool's the guy's name from his Timcast. He's thinking everybody's like city folks, And I just want to tell the boy, son, no. You'll find more rural people. They're not gonna take a knee to anybody. Yeah. It's gonna be on at that point. And you can only push them so far, But they think they can get away with it. They really do. And I don't know that they know that these guys are already starting to look for them to try to spread this out of the cities and out of their little safe blue zones. I can't imagine them guys wanting to fund police departments because it's probably about the only thing keep people off their backs now is those cops are there to protect them. They get rid of those cops, they're liable to not get out of the cities themselves. But, it's got you wondering, man. Just how bad could this possibly get? I've heard talk. I haven't got anything in concrete, but I've heard talk. And it's about to bust loose, and that's not a good thing. It really isn't. My stance still is that Donald Trump has done a decent job his first term. We need to kick those Democrats out of the House of Representatives. That's important. We need to get them out of the federal government. And we need to get Donald another term so one, he can get the economy rebuilt. And I think pressure could be brought on him to, okay, let's restore some law and order here in this country. And try to peacefully turn this all back around. And hopefully that some of the more moderate Democrats will kind of back away from this whole mess if they really do a little research on it. And we're not backing that up. You're hearing more and more of that going on. But that'd be a good thing. Okay. But yeah, that was kind of the shocker I'd run into was, and I'm going to be digging into it a little deeper, but how serious is it? And people of Seattle, Washington need to look around at how the governor of that state handled this, how the legislators in that state handled this, and how the mayor of Seattle handled this, and kicked their little liberal butts the heck out of office. If they had a lick of sense, that's exactly what they would do. The people need to go enough. What if that was your neighborhood that they decided to turn over to these radical idiots? Neighbors, the media tried to play this off as it was no big deal, but I'll tell you what, the media was not telling you the story of how these people were out banging on drums night and day. People couldn't sleep, even, that lived in those areas. There had been a lot of sexual assaults going on. It was a three-ring circus. Of course, to hear the mayor spin it, it was the Summer of Love. Street festival. People of Seattle, I lived out there years back, and it was a lot of years back. People out there would not have tolerated this for 30 seconds. They would have, that mayor would be cleaning out her office right now. That governor who sat there and went, oh, he'd be gone. This is the leadership you're electing? Really? What's wrong with you people? And if you vote for him again, then shut up. Just shut up. Enjoy. If you're that stupid. But one of the things that this temple's been talking about is these young people, they don't even know. Because they get their news from Twitter, you know? And they think everything that they crawls across that screen's got to be gospel. He was even talking about how some of his friends was saying, well, poor guy just fell asleep in the drive-thru at Wendy's drunk, you know, and they just yanked him out of the car and shot him. Those people shouldn't be voting. Okay, maybe they need a questionnaire at the polls. You know, multiple guesses of what's even in the news. And if you're so poorly informed that you know so little about what's going on in the world and in the country, that you make a statement like that, you don't need to be voting. You know, the founding fathers said we need an informed electorate. These people are dumb as a box of rocks. Which is a lot of, I think, the problem where we're at today. One of the things that I saw, I was shocked. A lady in Seattle had her car surrounded by protesters they had even reached in the window and was trying to pull her out of her car by her hair. And to escape them, she hit the gas, man. Tried to cut around them and hit the gas. Afraid for her life. And one of the idiot protesters stepped in front of this car. Now, number one, if somebody's laying into the gas and trying to escape, stepping in front of the car, what was he thinking? You know, apparently it hit him so hard his shoes fell off. And needless to say, they didn't file any charges on the woman. But NPR, okay, is who put out the video. And according to them, what they were showing on that video was some right-wing extremist running down protesters. Left out all the part about the woman being attacked by this mob. Left out the part that she swerved her car to get around them and this fool stepped in front of her. Okay? That's what our media has become. And we need to put an end to it. And just stop going, no. We're not even gonna ever look at your stuff again for no other reason than that way your advertisers learn that you have no viewership. Yeah, called her a right-wing extremist, running innocent protesters down. You gotta ask yourself, folks, what is wrong with this country? Wow. Anyway, went long enough. Hope you guys are having a great week. Okay? Had a good weekend. And we'll be talking to you on Wednesday. Have a great day.